Hey guys, welcome back. Hey, it's been a while. Sorry about that. Over the winter and everything, just time got way too crazy, and I just didn't really have much time to put out content, unfortunately. But we're back again out here in the garage, and that's because it is officially time for some new tires again. This past weekend, I was participating in my club's 450 event, which is a 2-day, 450-mile ride out to somewhere within the area where we camp out overnight and then ride back. And I've talked about it before in other videos I've put up, but after putting those miles, I knew I was pretty close on these tires, and I pretty much hit the wear bars, and I probably could get some more life out of these, but being that in a couple of weekends I have another trip coming up where I'm going to a rally in Maryland that is roughly about 175 miles away. I'll be riding there, and I'll probably be doing, give or take, about 200 to 250 miles of riding while I'm there at the rally, and then riding home. So, being that I'm going to be adding another 500-ish miles to these tires, and I'm already at very good mileage for these tires, I'm not taking a chance with it. So, I really can't complain. The tires that I've been running on this bike are the Pirelli, they're the Diablo Rosso IV tires. Not the Corsa version, just the regular Rosso 4s. And as you can see, I still have some space here on the sides of the tire, but right here on the main flat of the tire, I'm basically on the wear bars right here. Got a little some space over here, but they're squared off. I've got good mileage on these tires, and I really, really can't complain. I'm the second owner of this bike, and when I purchased it from the original owner, they still had the original tires on it from 2014. I purchased this in June of 2022, and I rode on those tires for a little bit, probably longer than I should have. They were a little sketch because the rubber compound was so hard. They just really didn't do very well. But the original tires that Triumph put on this bike from factory were the original Diablo Rosso Corsa tires. So when I was looking for my first set of tires on this bike, the tires I decided to go with were these Rosso 4s after a lot of consideration. I was really torn between these and the Corsa version. I know I didn't need something as aggressive as like a Super Corsa, and I really didn't want to go to a sport touring tire at that point in time, even though I probably definitely could have. But this is my second set of Rosso 4s that I've had on this bike, and honestly, I'm beyond impressed with these tires. And it's kind of weird because this time around, because I tracked so many miles on this bike, just to give you an idea, when I purchased this in June of 2022, it had about 1,852 miles on it. And today it's got over 27,000 miles on it. So I do track some miles on this bike. And because of that, I actually considered this time swapping out to a sport touring tire just for, the increase in mileage and, better wet weather performance and whatnot, because sometimes when you're traveling, you can't avoid the weather, and that's just how it goes. But I've got to be honest with you, I'm sticking with the Rosso 4s, and I'll tell you why. Looking at my maintenance records that I keep on my phone here for this bike, these particular set of tires were installed in September of 2024, and at that time the bike had 17,812 miles on the clock. And as of making this video today, as you can see, I've got 27,644. So that is almost 10,000 miles that I've gotten on a set of these Rosso 4s. And they still have a good bit of usable tread. If I wasn't going on a trip, I could probably get another month or so-ish of riding out of these before they really got to the point where I wouldn't feel safe riding on them, especially if I don't hit any weather. And in my opinion, for what are essentially considered, hypersport tires, or super sport tires, whatever you prefer to call them, that's very impressive. Most reviews I see on these, people are usually estimating about 4 to 6,000 miles of riding on these. But with almost 10,000 miles and they're still in this kind of condition, I can't say anymore. I would recommend these tires to anybody who, you know, has a sport or a naked bike that doesn't really do multiple track days in a month. Yes, these tires will do a track day, especially with a rider of my current skill level. But, if you were hitting the track multiple times a month, because that's more your thing, you would definitely want a stickier tire. You'd probably want at least the Corsa version of these tires if you also did a lot of street riding, and then, maybe a Super Corsa SP if you were more of a track only rider. But, as you can see, I mean, this is a street bike. I ride it on the street only. I get over pretty decent on this bike. I'm certainly, not dragging knee on the street here by any means. But, I do ride it like it's supposed to be ridden. And these tires have held up very well. I have ridden through some torrential rainstorms in these tires, and they've done just fine, even though I know a lot of the sport touring options would be much, much better in the wet than what these tires are rated for. I've never had an issue with these tires, and as long as you're not stupid, they ride very well. The fronts are in a little better shape. The backs tend to wear a lot more than the fronts anyhow, but I am getting pretty close to the wear bars in some of these, and the tread is chopped a little bit. Like I said, these have almost 10,000 miles worth of wear on them, so I'm just putting a set of both on there. That, in my opinion, is just the way to go. So if you're looking for tire recommendations, or if you're not, brand loyal to a specific brand, I've got 2 rounds of experience with these tires, and I'm beyond impressed. The first set of these that I had went a little over 7,500 miles, and those got replaced prematurely, unfortunately, because I ended up with a nail or something that punctured the tire in the back when I was on one of my camping trips. I had to plug it to get myself home, and I didn't want to continue to ride on a tire with a plug in it. And being that I had north of 7,000 miles and I felt that that was an adequate lifespan, I just decided to put a new set of tires on it that weekend when I got back. But now we're on round 2. I've gotten a lot more mileage on this particular set of tires, and they've just been great. So I already got a set on reserve at my local cycle gear store. So we're going to get the wheels off, we're going to clean them up, and we're going to take a ride and hopefully get them mounted tonight. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Now we gotta clean them off. Alright, the wheels are all cleaned off, so now the guys at Cycle Gear won't yell at me for bringing in some dirty, dingy wheels. They're packed up in the truck and ready to go, so we're going to take a ride up and hopefully get them swapped out. Alright guys, well, they couldn't mount them tonight. I just got here too late on top of, they were a little short-handed. One of their guys went home early and it was really just the manager here by himself, which kind of explains why they wouldn't answer the phone when I tried to call to make sure they could do them, but that's okay. Yeah, the weather's going to be crap here for the whole weekend, so it's not like I'm going to be riding it anyway. So they're going to call me tomorrow when they get them done. I'll probably come pick them up after work, so stay tuned and we'll be back with that. Alright guys, here we are next day. It's Friday now. Got the call from Cycle Gear. The tires are ready. They've been installed. I'm done work for the day, so it's back to the cycle shop. We're going to go pick them up. All right, guys, we're back in the garage now. It's actually Saturday now. Something came up after I picked up the wheels from the cycle shop yesterday. I had to end up helping out a buddy do something, so by the time I got back, it was just too late, and I didn't feel like messing with it. But we got the wheels back on the bike. New tires installed. Everything's cleaned up, greased up, torqued down. As you can see, all nice and shiny. Fresh new rubber. Couldn't be happier overall. Wasn't quite expecting to have to shell out for tires at the moment, but you know, got to do what you got to do. Got to pay if you want to play. So we're all set up here now for the rally. Couldn't really take it out for a ride today. As you can see, it's quite miserable. It's definitely not riding weather, especially not with trying to scrub in some new tires. So we're going to wait till we get a good day and hopefully take them out, scrub them up, get them ready to roll. But at least I'll be ready to rock and roll for the rally. I'm debating on if I want to throw a new set of front brakes on there. My front pads are getting pretty low, but I'm not exactly 100% sure on gauging low pads versus like car pads, because bike pads don't start out very thick to begin with, but they do look pretty low, and I do have a lot of miles, and I certainly don't want to cut into the rotors because rotors are extremely expensive for bikes. So that might be a project for another day. I know I can get the set of front pads for about $80-ish, give or take. So we'll keep you guys posted, but as far as a review that I can give you on these tires, like I said, I'm more than happy with them. They're fully adequate for any of the riding that I do. I spend so far all of my time on the street, and I think that if you've got a sport bike, if you've got a naked bike, and you want a solid tire for the street that's going to give you a little bit of extra grip if you do need it, These work very well. Like I say, had almost 10,000 miles on these. Probably could have gotten more. If I wasn't going on the trip, I would have definitely pushed these, at least another month, maybe two, until I either felt that they were getting, unsafe, or until I saw something visually. But knowing that I've got all that riding coming up, it just made more sense. I'd rather be safer than sorry, But that's the best information that I can offer on these. I am definitely not the most experienced rider out there. I've only been riding for, give or take, about 4 years. I've been, at least on this bike here for coming up on 4 years. And all of my riding experience has almost exclusively been with these particular tires, with the exception of the original tires that were on the bike. So I don't really have a large sample size, and I openly admit that. So I can't speak from the most experienced standpoint, but I can give you my personal experience, and my personal experience with these tires has been very positive overall. I personally haven't had any negative things that I can say about these tires. Somebody else out there chime in if you've got more experience. Like I said, if you are a heavy track day rider, it's probably not the tire that you would consider. You would definitely want something a little bit more. Maybe something like a Dunlop Q5, or like I said, the Rosso IV Corsas, or even a Super Corsa SP, something like a Michelin Cup GP2s, something like that I know are, definitely more of a hot tire, so to speak. But definitely something you're going to get a little bit less mileage out of. But then again, there's always a trade-off. You've got to figure out what type of rider you are and what you prioritize. Right now, I do a lot of longer trips, a lot of further away destinations. Realistically, I would have been, better suited to go with a sport touring tire. I was definitely torn between one of the good options out there, either your Michelin Road 6s or Dunlop Road Smart 4s. And then, of course, the Pirelli Angel GTs. And I don't know, call it maybe I was a little gun shy. Just looking at a lot of reviews, a lot of people say that the tire profile is a little bit flatter. It changes the handling dynamic of the bike. Whether or not that would affect me, I don't think so. I know plenty of people who run Michelin Road 6s on like leader bikes, because they know they primarily ride on the street, and they are not going at a pace on the street fast enough to overcome what those tires offer. So maybe it was a little snobbish of me to not go to a sport touring tire, but I'm comfortable with these tires. I've been happy with them. I'm getting really good results out of them, so I figured, why not? It is possible, hopefully in the time frame that I'll have these tires on, that I will actually get myself a second motorcycle, which I've been looking into once, finances allow. And more than likely, if I get a second motorcycle, it's going to be something that is a lot more sport touring focused, so that I don't have to put that entire burden of what I do on this particular bike, even though this Street Triple has been phenomenal. And it's done everything I've asked it to, and has not really given me any back talk in the effort of trying to do that. So I will keep you guys posted as that becomes more of a possibility. Hopefully we'll get a second bike for the channel. That'd be great. But that's going to require some doing, and a lot more financial planning. And I'm definitely not ready for that yet. But stick around, guys, because I do have another video coming up. That's going to be a review of a new tail bag that I purchased to go on my rear luggage rack. And I want to do a review on that bag because I haven't seen any reviews on that bag specifically, and it caught my eye both for price point and usability. So I haven't got a chance to use it yet. I will be trying it out for the first time in June when I go to that rally. So I'm going to put up hopefully a video preemptive of that as just kind of like a general review, and then I might follow that up with either a video or a short, just letting you know what my experience was with that bag, if I had any issues, any complications. So stick around. We'll bring that to you next. I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you made it to the end of the video, please drop a like. Please subscribe. Hit the bell. You'll be notified when I do put out a next video. Hopefully I'll have more videos coming more consistently. I know I kind of strayed off the path from what I was looking to do, but as I said, life and time, and I don't do this full time, and that's just one of the drawbacks. But if you do want to be notified when I do put a video out, if you click that bell, it'll give you a bleep. But until next time, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.